Hey everybody!
Hello! Today we are looking at Yamatai. Have I pronounced that correctly? Yamatai. Days of Wonder game. 2 to 4 players. Drafting and route building with your ships. Very pretty game.
Yeah, as usual.
How does it play?
Okay, well, the way it plays. Again, as you say, very pretty. Days of Wonder, classic sort of high production values. So in this game, you are trying to build a kingdom for this princess. Is that her? Yeah, I guess so. Princess, Queen. Sorry, Queen Himoko.
It's Queen.
So you're trying to build an empire in these islands by sort of building routes around the islands and then building buildings on the islands, palaces and so on. So the way the game works, you have a board laid out and you randomly place tokens on the islands. Kind of have these culture tokens. You shuffle those face down and then turn them over on the islands. So every game is different. You have that different set.
They're different resources, aren't they? Do they mean different resources?
They're supposed to be cultures, and you can trade them in throughout the game if you've got a set of them or 3 different.
Oh yeah, it's about getting the sets, isn't it?
Yeah. So we'll come to that in a bit. So they're randomly placed out on the board, and you can claim those as you build your routes around the islands that have got those tokens on them. So the idea is that you're building routes around the islands, claiming the tokens off the islands with your ships, claiming the tokens off the islands to clear the islands ready for building, and then you're building on the islands, and you get points for building.
Buildings and palaces and
you get
different
points
sorts
for building
of
in different ways that if you build next to each other or if you build next to a palace and so on. So the way the game works is in your turn you take one of 5 actions along the way. Or you take 5 actions.
Yes, you do.
Take one of 5 actions.
No,
you take 5 actions. So the first action is you choose a fleet tile, and these are the tiles along the bottom edge of the board. Again, they're randomly shuffled for the start of the game, and they throughout the game get replenished and kind of gurgitated.
Oh, because they predict the turn order, don't they? Because they've got the numbers on them.
They do, yes.
Yeah,
they do,
and they predict if you pick one with like 1 in it, you're first next time.
First next go, yeah, exactly right. Yeah, that is true. So the fleet tiles work in 2 ways. As Bear says, they have a number on them that gets you the turn order next go. The first time you randomly shuffle them onto the turn order tracks. Turn order again works in a similar way to say 5 tribes where you could go once and then take it in turns, or you could go twice in a row depending on how it all comes out. So initially you randomly lay those out, shuffle them out and kind of randomly lay your tokens out there. But then once you take these fleet tiles, as Bear says, they have a number on them. So if you take number 1, next go you'll be first. If you take a number 5, you could be second, but if someone takes a 4, they'd be second. That kind of thing. If you take a 10, you're going to be last in next go. But the fleet tiles particularly are acquisitions of coloured ships, hence them called fleet tiles. So you might get a yellow and a green ship option, or there might be a yellow and a brown and a green, or things like that.
Do the numbers correlate to the better ships come with the lower numbers?
Yeah, no, the better ships come with the higher numbers. So
that's number 10 is you get better stuff, but you're last the next time.
That's correct. Yeah. So, and of course they are random. There's only 5 showing. I think it's 5. There's only 5 showing. The other 5 are face down in the kind of ready to replenish pile. So they're not always the same. Yeah, they're not always the same. So they're random, and then when you've used those up for that go, you move the others into play and shuffle the others face down for next go. So it could be, and this is kind of one of the tricks of the game. It could be that you're desperately trying to get hold of a green and a yellow ship, but all of the fleet tiles have not got any green or yellow ships or something like that, so you have to change your tactics or bide your time, whatever. So you take a tile and you claim the colours ships that tile equals, and you put them into your stock, and then the next move is you can trade, so you can buy ships with gold, coin, so you can buy
and sell as well.
Yeah, you can buy and sell. Yeah, you can buy a green ship for 1 coin, brown for 2, and so on. So you could trade to get the right combinations of colours of ships, and then you place ships out onto the board, and you do that by you start at the edge. So in the harbour, you have to go from one of the harbours, and then you can place coloured ships in any sequence. So you can put a brown, white.
There's no white, so that wouldn't actually happen.
You could put a brown, a green and a red ship out in a row. No kind of there's no rule about which ships go next to each other in that respect, as long as you start from the harbour. But then the next go, if you don't start from a harbour, you could start from a ship that's already out in a channel, but you have to start with the same colour ship as the last one that was laid. So if I laid a red, a green and a yellow, and then Bear wanted to go, her next one would have to be a yellow, and then she could do any colours after that. So it's only the corresponding one that's kind of next. And the reason you lay these ships out in certain sequences is because, well, initially when you lay a ship around an island, if it's got a culture token on it, you can take a culture token for as many ships that you lay next to an island. So if you laid 3 ships out and they were adjacent to 3 islands, you could take 3 culture chips off of those 3 islands. If you laid out 2 ships, you could take 2 culture ships, 2 culture tokens. But you have to be adjacent to the island. So if you know, depending on the number of ships you place out, that's how many culture tokens you could take if you're next to the island. But also, you're trying to, for future reference, you're trying to get coloured ships around an island that match the tiles for the buildings. So the building tiles have coloured ships on them. So it might be, say, 3 green ships will get you a building tile with 2 points on. You might think, oh, I've got a lot of green ships, I'll try that option. So you start laying green ships around an island, and then if the island is clear, i.e. it's not got a token on it, you can build. So you've got 3 green ships. That's you don't kind of pay the price. You just have to have
them around the island.
Yeah. So if you've got your 3 green ships in that go, so you have to do it in that go. 1, 2, 3, or you can place the 3rd one if there were 2 already. You place the 3rd one. That's 3. Yay! You can claim that tile and get the victory points.
And that can include the other person's ships as well. Like if he's put 2 greens down, I put the last one down and claim that building.
Very true. Exactly right. Yeah. So as long as there are that sequence of ships around that island, when you place in your go, you can claim that tile. And that gets you good victory points. You place them face down, and they're a secret sort of total that's building up there towards the end of the game. So you can do that. So when you're laying your ships out, you can either build or you can claim the tokens. You can't build if there's a token on island, so you can only build on a clear island. So initially you tend to be clearing the islands of tokens.
Yes.
So that's that. If you do build, depending on how you build, if you build just a building, you get the tile with that colour of ships on it
points,
and the points. If you build next to another building of yours, you're then building a kind of a group of buildings, and you claim an extra point for there's little fans which are victory tokens, victory point tokens. So if you've got 2 buildings next to each other, you get an extra 2 of those. If you get 3, you get 3 of those. And every time you add to that group in future builds, you get them again. You don't just add another one on. You get the whole lot. So if you build one of 2, then you get 2. If you build one of extra on that,
you get coins. Coins when you build groups.
Sorry, coins, not victory points. Sorry, it is coins. Sorry.
Fan is when you build up next to a palace.
Next to a palace or a toy, as they're called, which are the kind of sort of
you get extras for building in a certain place.
And
groups.
So there's that, and then the 4th section is you can place any unused ships into your harbour. You've got like a little harbour section on your player board. You can only have 1 ship in that, unless later on in the game there are a couple of special powers that you can get from the special powers characters, which allow you to store 2 ships in that harbour section. But mainly it's just 1, so you might have some spare ships.
It's handy sometimes.
And if you've got any more than 1, you have to put them in. There's another section next to the harbour which is minus points at the end of the game. So for every 2 ships you have in that section, it's a -1 point at the end of the game. So you don't kind of want to do that very often.
No, it's a waste of ships.
Yeah, it's wasting ships. So you don't want to get too many ships that you can't use.
Yeah.
And then the fifth part of the go. So those are the 4 other bits. The 5th part of the go is if you've got those little culture tokens that you've collected when you've been surrounding islands. If you've got a set of 3 different ones, you can trade them in and claim one of the special powers cards across the top. So they're special people, and they do different things. Like they might give you a continuous power every go. For instance, having an extra ship in your harbour.
Last one I got was I could buy gold ships, which were
you can
valuable.
you can buy gold chips generally, but if you take that special power, you can buy gold ships. Yeah, that's a good point. So there are different things, and there's probably like 25, 30 different special powers, and they're really good. They do different things in the game.
They're very helpful.
Enable you to expedite your powers, if you like. So you can claim them by either giving in 2 the same or 3 different tokens. So that's why you collect the tokens, so you can trade them and get the special powers. That's pretty much the way the game plays. You take it in turns. Yeah, it is very simple in concept, but so when you're laying your ships out, this is where the trick comes. You lay your ships out with a view to enabling you to build and grab one of the victory cards with the victory points on the building victory cards. I think you fell foul of this, and I kind of did to a certain extent, but it seemed to hit you more. I don't know if it's kind of whether it was because you were going first more than I was, but basically Bear would kind of set herself up to build, which the only way you can do that is by taking a token off the board and placing ships around an island. So you place your ships around the island, take the tokens off the board, but then obviously
I'm ready to build the next turn.
Yeah, that obviously means the island is ready to be built on. It's open, so you can build on it. And then I think, okay, I'll build on it. So
of course you do.
So that is the one thing with this game. It seems is that you can't seem to set yourself up and then build.
I think
you kind of set yourself up and then somebody else builds. So
I think you're better with the game where you can do your tactics and you can swap ship colours and is that a special power?
Yeah.
I think
with
the special powers you can swap things and make it easier for you. But playing it straight, I was like, well, hang on a minute, I was about to build there.
Yeah, and then I do. Yeah. Well, I think towards the end of the game, because we've only played this once, it's been on the shelf for a long time. We only played it once just to sort of get it reviewed at long last. I think.
What do you think?
I think I realised that one of the things you kind of need to do is keep an eye on the other players' ship colours. And if you see, they're claiming their fleet cards at the beginning. They're getting like yellow and green and black and gold.
I can't do that though. I can't multitask.
If they're claiming those and building those up, then you can kind of look and think. I think they're after that card. They're after that building there. So if I clear this island, they're gonna. So I think in a way.
But then I put my colours down, and then you just jump on my building.
Yeah, I think you have to try and kind of almost try and go to a different colour as well as. I mean, this probably plays hugely different with any number of player count other than 2.
Yeah.
Because it is a little bit kind of if you can't go, I can.
Yeah.
In this respect,
it is a bit.
If there's 3 or 4, it's not kind of if you can't go, I can. It's more kind of. Who can go. I think it's probably going to play a lot differently as it's 3 or 4 players.
Well, for me, I have to say, as a proviso, I was suffering with COVID at the time that we played this game.
True enough,
so everything was annoying me, so it just annoyed me.
Yeah, it was really winding you up, wasn't it? I mean, it was.
It was AP as well. I didn't know what to do for the best.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I could do because I had some special powers as well. I could buy gold ships, as I said earlier, and I didn't know whether to buy ships, swap ships, build, take tokens, or look which ones to get and whether to swap ships or not, and watch your stuff, and it's all confusing. And I was getting annoyed at the fact that I was setting myself up, then you were coming in and building and nicking my points.
Yeah, I mean you were at the point of, well, I thought this was supposed to be fun, and it's actually just winding me up. So
yeah, like I was trying my hardest to get I need to get a green and 2 reds, say, and I was really trying hard to get the right number of ships, and then I lay them out, and I couldn't lay them out because I didn't have a yellow to go with, follow on from your yellow. That's annoying. So I better swap a green for a yellow. Oh no, I haven't got the right ships now, and it's all getting a bit confusing. And then you go and build on my thing anyway.
Yeah.
What's the bloody point?
It was a bit like that, yeah. And I get that because I was in the same boat. No pun intended. I was in the same boat, but I was just able to kind of I was just one step ahead of you, I think. And like I say, I think that may have been just a player order, perhaps. I don't know.
There are some tactics involved where you, depending on which route you build, you can go off on another tangent and say swap. If you swap the ship colours, you stop me from building and all that kind of stuff. That's tactics I didn't really get into.
Yeah, there's a whole layer of complicated.
It was sad for me because I do like Days of Wonder. I can guarantee I like Days of Wonder, but this one's like my least favourite.
And it is quite similar, although not as good as, for us, 5 Tribes.
I really like Five Tribes.
Yeah, it's got the same kind of vibe to it, hasn't it, with the special powers and the sort of the way that you kind of move around the board, and the board's modular and all that stuff, and you're trying to set yourself up for moves. But it just seems a little less take that in Five Tribes. It's a bit more kind of you're in control of your own destiny.
Yeah, this was a bit too confusing for me, I think. I didn't know what to do for the best. And when I tried to do something for the best, I got gazumped.
And you didn't really feel the theme either, did you? You didn't get the sort of Chinesey, sort of Japanesey.
It didn't, no. The whole trying to get a boat for the Queen, I didn't really feel that.
So it wasn't really hitting you on the sort of theme front either, was it? Yeah, so...
Sorry.
Yeah, well, so there are. Well, you know, it's an older game, and as I say, it's kind of probably been replaced by lots of other games as well. But if you are after this game, and you want to know how it works, that's how it works. It does play well. It looks better.
I think it'd be good for gamers.
Yeah,
you know,
more number count maybe.
More number count. I think if you've got a spouse or something, you're trying to get into games. I don't know.
Yeah, probably not a good one to.
Be a good one to start with, maybe just because it's really confusing. I would not.
I thought she'd love it, but no.
I would not take this to my parents to play.
Oh, there's your touchdown. Yeah, exactly. Well, no, true enough. So there we are.
I might be wrong. You never know.
No, well, no, you're entitled to your opinion.
I'm sorry, I do love Days of Wonders. I'm sorry.
Let's score it nonetheless.
I feel guilty.
Let's score it. Let's get the score out of the way. It's going to be a lovely
score.
Okay, so I'll go first, and then you can bring up the rear, I no doubt. I quite like this. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. I like the way it plays. But I get that it's a little bit weird and a little bit take-thatty, and it doesn't work brilliantly at 2, maybe.
Maybe.
Or it certainly didn't in the game we played. Maybe if we played it more and got more
again,
tactics,
COVID may have had something to do with it.
But anyway, so nonetheless, all those things considered, I'm happy to give this a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not massively way up 7.5, 8 or anything like that, but certainly it's a good 7 for me. But I know you're nowhere near that, are you?
Oh, could I give my first below 5?
You can do whatever you like.
I might have to do 4.5. I'm so sorry.
No, it's not your apologies. They might be agreeing out there. Yeah,
let me know. Please comment and say you agree with me, so I don't feel so bad.
Don't tell her she's wrong. Tell her. No, but yeah, you're entitled to your opinion. That's the point. It made you feel that way. So, it was pretty, and that was kind of the only kind of thing I really enjoyed. Come on, Bruno Cathala, you must try harder. Anyway, so it's probably rang down by Mark Paquin.
One of them two. Nah. I don't know.
Sorry, I say brang. I know it's not right. It's just a thing we do. I know it's bring. You brang it down.
I do love Days of Wonder though, so I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so there we go. What's that? 11.5. Ooh, so it's above average. Above average.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's still, but anyway, there we are. So, well, like I say,
it's what it is.
These are the things we do these things for. So it's just to find out whether or not you think you might like them. You might still enjoy it way more than we do. You might think, fair shout. I'll take that under advisement. So, but anyway,
it'd be interesting to see what places are for with the whole take that thing.
Yeah, Bear will be putting us on Board Game Geek for sale any day now. So
if anyone wants to buy this, comment with your offers. It's fine. £1 or £2, it's fine.
Okay, thanks guys for watching this one. Hopefully this has helped you decide whether or not to buy it.
Or not.
We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Bye. Sorry.